Awesome. Let's get started. So every class we start with a salute. We make a fist with our right hand, roll those fingers in nice and tight, closing what we call the fist eye. Then we take our thumb and we bring it over the first two. Nice flat surface here. All the fingers together on that left palm. We bring them together for our salute. Awesome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much. So this is our beginners class. Remember, the goal is 5 minutes a day, so we always start out with the wellness exercises. These were created during COVID by Master Yang Jun. They're a great thing that we can practice in a very limited amount of space. They're also a really good warm-up to get that energy flowing in our body. So the first thing we're going to do is check in with our posture and our alignment, because Tai Chi is here to help heal our bodies. So take a look down at your feet. If you have floorboards like me, use them to your advantage. Make sure your feet are perfectly straight, and we want them shoulders width apart. When our feet are straight, then our joints are going to be healthy and happy. So the next thing we want to do is check in with our knees. When we're standing here, we want to avoid locking out those knees. We want them slightly soft, not too bent, but just enough that we can feel the weight centered on our feet. This also allows us to relax our waist down and tuck the tailbone down. So I want you to play for a moment. Feel the weight in your feet. Lift through the crown of your head and let the shoulders hang down, but now move that weight around, forward and back, side to side. And I want you to really bring your mind and your focus down to your feet. Remembering that Tai Chi starts from the ground up, we really want to be aware of what's going on with our feet. If the weight's on the inside, the knees are going to turn in. If we have our toes turned out and our knees in, we're doing a lot of damage. So we want to help heal our body in every way. So now that we've connected to our feet, can you find the center? So that means the whole center of your foot, the weight even from the front to the back and the side to side. All right, we're going to bring our arms to the side of our body. The fingertips brush the sides of your thighs. And instead of having the arms flat, we're going to get that little piece of fruit underneath the armpits, allowing energy to flow all the way out to the fingers. Remember, we lift that head up and let those shoulders come down, so we're finding length from the neck all the way down to the tailbone. All right, the first one we have is called Like Water's Wave. You're going to rotate your palms so they face back as your arms start lifting up, and then you're going to lift them all the way up to shoulders height and shoulders width. If you already know this one, feel free. For those that are new, we want to energize through the fingertips here, okay? Now from here, we're going to go upper arms and then forearms, and your palms push down until they sit in front of your hips. So your fingertips are going to point forward. Now we're going to combine the breath. We're going to inhale, lift them up, shoulder height, shoulder width. Exhale, upper arms, forearms, and then palms push down. Next is the legs. So we inhale, float up. Exhale, bend into the knees as you push down. Now, as we stand up, we're lifting the arms up. The arms are at shoulders height as we fully stand. Then we immediately start sinking down, and we stop bending when the hands are at the hips. So we really want to combine this upper and lower body so that everything arrives together. We're starting to build our Tai Chi practice. We're learning the principles of practice. We have 10 of them. One of them being coordinate upper and lower body. So it doesn't matter how far you sink. We just want to make sure that we're moving nice and slow through the legs. Big belly breaths. So if we're all in a room together, every single person here will be moving at a different rate. You're going to connect with your own breath, and you're going to let go to everything that's going on around you, being present in this moment, body, mind, and spirit. Let's do a few more. Really feel the upper body be nice and light. So just let it float up and then sink down. So where can you release any tension you might feel? Remember, even though it's large frame, we want to relax. Now that relax is not relaxing on the sofa, but it's a relaxed of an opening through the joint without any pressure. One more time. And then we'll all end maybe at a different rate, maybe after me, or at the same time. We'll sink down. Now we'll stand up and bring our arms to that original position. Nice. Okay, so that's the first one. 5 minutes of that a day will really get the blood and energy flowing and great alignment and building muscle as well. All right, number 2, we're going to do looking up at the moon. Same kind of thing, except this time we're rotating our arms. I want to come close for a moment because I want you to really be aware of this one, okay? So we start and prepare. Now, what do I want you to be aware of? I want you to rotate your whole arm together. So those palms face up, and then the palms are going to face together. The big thing being shoulders sink down, okay? Let them really relax. So it doesn't matter how wide your arms are, but I want your shoulders down. Now bend at the elbows. And again, those hands are going to press down the front of the body until they reach the hips, okay? Now from here, you're going to point your fingers down. It's almost like Wild West arms here. Rotate your whole arm so that those palms face up, and then arms up, shoulders down, bend at the elbows and press down. So now if we were coordinating our breath, same as before, inhale, standing up. We can even look up. Exhale, press down. Now here's the big coordination. We're standing and our arms are up. And now we're going to sink into our knees just like the other one, pressing down as we exhale. So now how can you combine upper and lower parts of your body? Arms all the way up and then pressing down. This is the hard one. We have a lot of big movements with the arms, but the legs don't move very far. So how can you get them to work together? So when you're fully standing, the arms are overhead, and you stop bending when the hands are at the hips. So now I want you to let go. Everyone's moving with me right now. I want you to completely move at your own pace. I want you to close your eyes and move with your own inhale and exhale. That's the special thing about Tai Chi. We're listening to our own bodies. We're letting that blood and energy flow. We're working on that alignment to heal the body from the inside out. But we're listening because we're connecting the mind, the body, and the breath. So I'm right here, right now with you, flowing through this posture. We'll do 3 more, maybe 4. Remember, I always want you to end at the same time or after me so you can see what's going to happen next. All right, either your last one right now pushing down or do one more and finish after me because we do a half circle. We're going to stand up and we're going to bring our arms to shoulder height and shoulder width. And now we're going to do the first one, upper arms, forearms, and palms push down in front of the hips. Then we return to that original position, okay? So now you're already seeing that that first movement is going to be coordinated into a lot of our practice, okay? So for those of you that are new, this class is a mix of true beginners who are just starting for the first time today, right? And people who have been with me for months and everyone in between, okay? So give yourself grace with everything that we do. The movement that we've been working on is a little bit harder. Now, did you hear the key words there? We've been working on it, okay? So I want to complete this little sequence of movements that we've been working on, but we're going to break it down for everyone, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is give our arms a break for a second, and we're going to work on the footwork. The footwork is actually pretty easy. So this is wave hands like clouds. This is the only time in the form where we see a circling or spiraling movement, okay? In Yang style Tai Chi, everything that we do is very forward-based, or we call ward-off movements, but this one has what we call silk reeling energy. So we're going to start on the right side of your room. I'm going to be mirroring you for this portion, okay? And we're going to work on some footwork. Now, this is a basic footwork because we just did it and we're just going to combine a couple of things together. So we start in our parallel stance, we were just in, and we're going to sink down to wherever is comfortable. All right. If you would like, you can hold your arms up in what we call a hug a tree position. So if I bend over, you can see it's like hugging a giant tree. The big thing to note here is your arms, okay? We want your elbows to sink down. Let the arms hang. You don't even have to use the arms at all if you really want to give them a break. I just want to demo with it so you can see the waist, our torso turning, okay? You're going to shift your weight to your right and your torso is turned. You're going to step out double wide. So what does this mean? We're stepping on a plank with our feet straight, and we're going to go from double wide. We're going to shift over, turn to your left as you shift left, and step in. Now you're going to shift back to the right. So we're shifting and we're turning our torso, and we're going to step wide. We're going to come to center, and look, our torso is straight. Then we turn to the left, and we pick up and step in. Centered with that weight, and then to the side, your right side, step out. Come to the center, to the side, and step in. One more, centered. Look how you're turning. So you're to the right, all the weight's in that right leg, and you step. Shift, turn, and step in. Okay, now release your arms. Don't move your feet yet. Look at your feet. How did we do? Mine are straight to the same direction, but they are a little turned. So what does that mean? I need to use my floorboards more in practice, right? We all need more practice, okay? But this is important, okay? So wave hands like clouds is one of the movements where when we're moving, our foot might turn in, okay? And then like we might be kind of turning out or something. So the thing that we can do is when we're here, we can touch with the edge of the shoe so that we have the whole edge, knife edge, and then roll, okay? Eventually you're touch with your toe and then your whole foot. But in the beginning, if we touch with the toe, a lot of the times the heel turns out to the side, okay? So we want to have our feet as straight as possible, okay? Let's do it again. Now remember, you can do this drill back and forth to gain strength in both directions. We're just doing it the way that we see in the form, okay? So starting in that parallel stance, shoulders width apart, check, use your floorboards, right? Arms up if you'd like. All right, shifting to your right. You're gonna step wide, step. Now look down, how did we do? Is the foot straight for our first one? Good, now shift and turn. So you're turning to the left, all the weight's in that left leg so you can step in shoulder width. Now we're going to shift to center. Look, weight centers, torso straight. Shift to the right, step. We're centered, almost like a horse stance. And then we're going to come to your left side. So we're just turning. Shift and turn. Again and again. So we're turning from our left corner to the right corner. So what does that mean? Center is straight. And then we're 45 degrees off of that as we step in. We come to center, we're 45 degrees to the right, and we step out. And then we come to center, and then across. All right, how are we doing? Yes, do we have any questions? All right, I'm gonna take a sip of water. If you want to drink, great time. We're gonna do some arms next, okay? We're gonna link it together. Yep. So the thing about Tai Chi is you don't realize that you're holding your arms up for 45 minutes and you're actually going to break sweat. All right. So shake out the arms, let them go. Really just let everything go, right? If you're holding them in that tree or that hug a tree shape, it's going to be a little stiff. Remember, the hard thing about Tai Chi is to find the relax. So we're holding our arms up for 45 minutes, but we don't want to be stiffly holding our arms up for 45 minutes, okay? So for those that are new, a quick review on our hand shape. I think we can all use this, okay? Remember with our hand shape, we have little gaps between our fingers, okay? So that means that no matter which direction it goes, we have little gaps, okay? That means we're extending through our hands, but we're not going to be like this, but we're not going to be crumbly. So we have to find this perfect kind of rounded, like you could hold a little ball shape, okay? This is really helpful. The other thing we want to think about is opening up this area here. If you ever have a lot of headaches, you can actually take your thumb on the outside right here and your index finger here and push on this point. And it's actually a really good headache point, okay? So it's a really good thing to sit here and massage and kind of open up, okay? And make sure you do the other hand real quick if you were pressing down. Even it out, okay? You'll feel a lot of tension. But we want to think in Tai Chi, we're going to open. We call this the tiger's mouth, okay? So we're going to open that. We're going to let all that energy flow through the hands, okay? Why are we talking about this? Foundations, right? Our hand shape never changes. No matter if we're doing like water's wave, if we're looking to the moon, okay? If we're doing wave hands like clouds now, that hand shape is exactly the same, all right? It's never going to change. It's just maybe sitting up or it's to the side or sitting down. But the actual physical hand shape itself is the same, okay? So let's do some double arm circles first. Then we're going to challenge our minds and do the wave hands like clouds. So arms are up, palms are sitting up. We call them sitting, their fingers pointed to the sky. Now we're going to use our elbows and shoulders. Watch how the elbows stay where they are in three-dimensional space. And we tilt our arms. The fingertips are going to point down. Now, this is what we call Wild West arms, right? Because we're not here. We're going to keep that space, okay? Then you're going to come into what we call hug a tree or double ward off. Now we're going to rotate. So if this is 12, we're going to rotate at 2 and 10. Palms sit up, and then we're going to pull down. Perfect. So we rotate. I think Wild West. Hug a tree. We can call this 2 rainbows or eyebrows. Sit up the palms. Beautiful. So now I see perfect form, but I want you now to let go and try to find relax. Okay? So it's a large frame, which means our movements are very big, but can you let go of any tension that you feel in your shoulders or your neck or just your upper back and arms? So next question, are you breathing? So the moment we stop breathing is the moment there's tension in our body and we need to figure out where it is so that we can let go and we can breathe a little bit better, okay? So 2 more rounds. All right, last one. And then just let them float down. Okay, shake them out, let the shoulders go, okay? This is the hard thing, all right? So sometimes tossing your shoulders up and down, if you bring your shoulders to your ears and just toss them down, can kind of release any tension you might feel. It's actually a great Qigong exercise if you do it in succession with your legs. Draw the shoulders up and then throw the whole body down. So you bend into your legs, come up and down. And you just start kind of bouncing and it'll actually release a lot of energy in your body, release a lot of tension. So you're just really loose with the arms and you're just letting those shoulders go. Feels pretty good. All right. So now we're going to do the exact same thing, but the arms are going to move at different rates. So this is wave hands like clouds. Left palm sitting out to the side. One review real quick. Fingertips point down. Warding off up. Think rotate and turn. Okay, now with the waist, okay, we're going to come and we're straight. Now I want you to turn to your left side, turning to the side, okay? Yes. Did you notice how far your hand went to the side now? That's perfect. Now we're going to come back to center. And now we're going to turn to the side. Perfect, okay? So come back to center real quick and just watch for 1 second. I just want you to see. This is hard in three-dimensional space, so I'm going to turn towards the camera, okay? So if I am just doing this movement and I'm not moving from my center, you see where my hand is? It's out to this corner, okay? When I turn my waist to the corner, my arm comes to the side direction, okay? So that's the difference of turning from the waist versus not turning at all, okay? So the only difference here is that I'm turning, and that torso turning to the corner is what allows my hand to be to this side direction, okay? So that's what I want you to see. All right, so we're not going to go too far, I guess is the point too, okay? We're only going to turn so that we're to 45 degrees with our torso. We're not going to go further, okay? We just want it to be to this direct side, okay? All right, now let's do it with both arms. So right arm first, one more circle, fingertips point down, come up, turning to the side. All right, right arm up. Okay, here's where it gets a little funny, right? Right arm goes up, left arm comes down. And then we're going to turn to the side. Come up, and we're circling. So we're going to the left side. Then we're coming back to center. And then we're turning to the right side. Now, I want you to remember, if you're new, we've been doing this for like 4 weeks, basically. So everyone who's here and flowing with us has been here for a while. So I want you to give yourself grace and just do your best. See if you can find the flow, okay? So now we're turning from side to side. And we've got this beautiful rotation. The only thing I want you to note here is that we don't want to cross our eyesight. So we don't want to come up really high. Okay, we want to come across and to the side. Use that waist body turning to lead the arms. So everything starts in our legs. It's controlled by the waist, and it's expressed in the hands and fingers. So nice. Okay, keep going. I want to show you one more thing from the side, okay? When we come in with this bottom arm, we want to avoid this, okay? We want to avoid being very close to our body, okay? I want you to be out here. I want you to have space, okay? Big arms away from your body, okay? Okay, perfect. Yes. So there's quite a few reasons why, okay? Think about your joints. If our arms are up and out, the armpits are open, that energy can flow from the arms all the way out to the fingers. As soon as we drop the arms like this, where's the energy stopping? Right at the armpits, right? So nice, big, flowing movements. Yes. Okay, remember with that warding off arm, that rainbow, avoid the wrist, okay? We want to see whole arm rotate, okay? So we're thinking rotate. Yes. So we're not bending the wrist ever, okay? We're going to have a nice straight line, and we're going to turn to the side, okay? You can keep flowing if you want. I just want to explain for a moment why the wrist action, okay? Everything has a meaning. With Tai Chi, it was made to counter Kung Fu. Okay, we're not doing it for martial arts, but knowing the meaning connects our mind to the movement. It allows us to understand why we're doing it the way we're doing and where our body should be in three-dimensional space. We're here to relax. We're here to heal our bodies through proper alignment. That all comes from also knowing the meaning, okay? So the meaning is, if someone was coming towards me with any sort of punch, okay, the first thing I would do is bring my arm up to connect to them. That's the first thing. It's just like I'm coming out and I'm just going to meet them. I don't know where it is. Now, why is this important? Remember what we were just talking about. Don't close the arms, right? Okay. Well, if someone's coming at me with a punch and I try to meet them here, what's going to happen? I'm going to get drilled, right? Like, I'm going to get hit. So I want to connect out here. This is the meaning. We want to connect out here. So that's the first thing we were talking about, all right? Making sure we have that space on both sides, right? We're not here. On both sides, nice and big, okay? The next thing we were talking about was the wrists, right? How strong are our wrists? I mean, it's good to have wrist mobility. We have some chin knot exercises or joint lock exercises that we do with our wrists, okay? But we don't want to use this, right? We want to use the strong bones in our body. So when we connect, we're thinking connecting here, center of the forearm. And you're going to hear me say this a lot. It's always center of the forearm. This is strong, okay? Now, if someone's here, I want to grab them, right? So I'm going to use the whole arm rotating to grab right here, and then I'm going to pull them down, okay? So this is the meaning. This is why we keep space. We rotate the whole arm to grab, and then we pull down a little bit, okay? So we connect and make that rainbow or that turn to grab and pull down. Connect, turn, and pull down. Yes, so now we know the meaning, right? Starting with the left palm seated, right arm's here, connecting, turn to the side. And so you're going to see when we turn to the side, left palm seated, right arms in ward off, we always hit center where we're almost rotated, and then we have that Wild West arm, and then we come to the other side where the right palm seated and the left arm is in ward off. And then we come to center again. And we just use this turning from side to side. So we're just going to keep turning. Now, why is the turning important? How big are our arms compared to our torso and our legs? Small, right? So think about if you connected with your left arm and you just did your arm, how much power are you going to get? Versus if you connect and you turn with your waist, right? If you connect and turn with your waist. Yes, okay? I love it. So I know a lot of you aren't here for martial arts, but when I see you move fast and I see it all connect, it gets me really fired up because it's exciting to see you understand it, okay? Because there's so many details here, and Tai Chi kind of got lost in translation sometimes where people just think it's about pressing a butterfly and holding a ball of energy. And it is about holding a ball of energy, but it's about having that connection to our mind and our body. So we do that through understanding the meaning, okay? So now we really pushed ourselves, okay? We understand the meaning, we did the legs, we did the arms. For those of you that have been here, you're gonna kill this drill putting it together, and we're just gonna run with it. For those that are new, take either the arms or the legs, okay? Your choice, okay? Remember, this class is whatever you want it to be. If you're feeling really strong, like you got this and you want to try along with everything, please feel free. But don't be discouraged because we have been working on this, okay? So starting on the right side of your room, right? We actually have to start with our arms on the other side, okay? So right palm is seated. Left arm is in ward off. Now we're going to shift that weight to our right leg, and we're going to step double wide. So now remember, we're going to come to center. Then we're going to come to the left side, and as we hit this left side, we're going to step in. Now when our weight's centered, our arms are centered. Then we come to the right side, and we're going to step out. Okay, now center. Left side, step in. Beautiful. Centered is always what we want to hit. And then we're thinking arms to the side, waist turned, stepping out. Centered and step in. Okay. So we're just going to flow and we're going to keep stepping out. And then we're going to step in. So what I want you to notice is that the arms and legs, the weight will be on the same side. We step. And then the weight's on the left side and we step in. How did we do? Yes, okay. The cool thing about wave hands like clouds, we do it 3 times in the form, but you could do it 3, 5, 7. You could do it any odd number of times. Now, why do I say odd number, even though we're doing whatever number we can fit in our rooms? We do this movement from single whip to single whip. So this is what we've been building towards, right? So just for everyone to see, we're going to do this in a moment right at the end, but remember, we're working towards this, okay? So we started single whip. Remember, I'm not mirroring you right now, so this is how I normally practice. You're just seeing it from this view. Okay, we go single whip, and we turn to the side. Now this is going to look really familiar. Look, stepping in. Wave hands like clouds. That's 1. Okay, we step in again for 2. We step out. And then we're going to step in for number 3, and we're going to go back to single whip. Okay, so this is what we're learning. This is going to repeat in the long form multiple times. Okay, so this is a great chunk, and it's a good sequence to practice. If you're in the short forms class, you're going to learn a new version of wave hands with a different footwork. So that's pretty exciting. So we want to nail this one. Okay, so let's practice again. I just wanted to give you a preview of where we're going, okay? Let's start on the right side of your rooms. Remember, I'm mirroring you, okay? So shoulders width apart, right hand, left arm, sink that weight to the right so you can step out double wide. All right, now remember, when your weight is centered, the arms are in the center. When your weight's to the left, the arms are to the left, and you step in. Then we center ourselves off, and we come to our right side, and we step out. Now we're just going to keep flowing. We're going to turn. Remember that your waist turning to your right corner is what brings your arms to the side. And we step out. Now we're centered. Everything's centered. We keep turning. Now check the space. Do you have that big arms? Remember, connect. Turn to grab and pull down. Step out. Connect. Turn and grab and pull down, right? So we're still thinking everything's turning and moving together, but what's also happening? The weight shifting and turning, right? Step out, shift and turn, and step in. Is it feeling better? It looked really good at the end there. Yes, good practice. All right, one more drink of water. I know we're back. We got a clock on the wall now, guys. So we got 10 minutes left. I want to talk about single whip, okay? I want to start integrating movements into this class, okay? We've had a lot of interest in a beginner's forms class. I want to assure you that both of the forms classes are beginner's classes. We are just building the form together. Now, if you join the Friday class, we've been working a little bit, so you'll feel like you're catching up, but feel free to jump in at any time. So let's talk about single whip today. Let's just do what we call single movement practice or holding, so we have still movement practice, okay? So single movement is that wave hands like cloud sequence we've been doing. Still practice is where we hold, okay? Why is it important? We want to use that time to connect with our breath and feel where we have any tension and where we can release it. So let's do a bow stance together first. I'm going to mirror you for a moment, okay? So facing your screen. Remember, the first thing we do is start in prepare. All right, we're going to do our single whip bow stance. So you're going to shift your weight to your left, and you're going to turn and open your right toes. You're going to sink into that right leg. Now, every time you sink down, we really want our knee to be aligned with our toes. Do not let it come into the center. If you cannot sink down, if you sink down and it turns in, I want you to ease off and come back up in your stance, okay? You will get stronger as your alignment gets better, and you will heal your body. So make alignment the priority, sinking down. Now step that left foot straight out, heel, ball foot, toes touch, bend the knee so that the foot's connected to the ground. Remember, all the weight is still in the right leg. Okay, check, do you have 2 lines? So we don't want to be here, have that space. Now push forward, okay? Knee is going to be over the ankle, but most importantly, I want you to turn your right toes. Do you have 2 lines between your feet? Okay, then turn it back. It should be 45 degrees from your left foot. Next, I want you to check in with your knee. We want it where? In line with the toe direction. Now for single whip, this one's a little bit different. I'm going to turn for a moment, okay? Stay where you are. We're not like this. I want you to sit your torso vertical, okay? So most postures in traditional yang style have a lean forward, okay? Here we're gonna be sitting vertical, okay? This means we have to be aware of our hips. I want you to sit your hips so that they're level, okay? Then our torso can be vertical. Now what happens? I'm gonna turn back towards the camera. So from a lean, and we turn and open, what happened to my knee? It came in, right? It turned right away, okay? This is where we have to be really careful. When we're turning, we want to think about having what we call crotch rounded enough. And I know it sounds funny. I laughed for years when I heard it about 20 times a day in seminar, but it's very important. It means that our knees are not turning in. It means that that weight is what? Centered on our foot, just as if we were standing when we started class, okay? So how can you find center, all right? Now, I want you to enter into full single whip here, okay? I'm gonna mirror you. Mine's not gonna be perfect, but it's gonna be a single whip variation, okay? So left palm is striking, okay? So remember that beautiful hand shape that we had. And we're gonna think that that palm is coming straight out. Now remember, we're not using the knife edge, okay? I'm gonna come close for a second. We're gonna be using this whole portion here, okay? And when it's in line with our shoulder, okay? So we don't wanna be too low, we don't wanna be out to the side, we want it sitting here, okay? The next thing we're gonna do is take our right hand and we're gonna make a hook. Now, when we make a hook, we want all of the fingers to touch together, okay? Nice long fingers. So we want to avoid this and we want to straighten them and make them beautiful. The martial arts meaning is here, okay? Back of the wrist, okay? So we're hitting here to here, okay? This is where it's going to go. Nice soft area. It's the one time we think of wrist, okay? The hook is going to be to the back corner. The palm is going to be to straight. Now check, not leaning, sit up nice and tall. Check in with the legs, and we're looking where? Through the tiger's mouth, okay? One thing to check here, hook should be throat level, okay? So we don't want it to be shoulder height. We want it a little bit higher. And then our hand should be shoulder height, okay? I'm gonna turn now. Stay for 1 second. I wanna challenge you, right? So we're checking here, sitting up. Hook high enough, not too low. Remember, we want to avoid a chicken wing. Expand out. Big, but not big like this. Let your chest sink in, your back round, and then turn your head. So a lot of the times we'll see this. I'm looking through my hand, but where's my head? We want to turn and have intention looking down. Okay, release. Shake it out. Okay. It's hard. Still practice is hard, okay? Eventually, we would love to be able to hold them for 30 seconds, okay? If you ever want a challenge, hold a bow stance for a minute, set your microwave timer. Make sure to do the other side, okay? Very important. Okay, when we have our arms up so much, we want to make sure we're kind of letting them really relax when we let them go, okay? Let's do it again. Remember that next week, we're fully combining these two movements together, okay? This is our goal, all right? Why? This is a big part of our form. We're not necessarily learning the form here, but you are, okay? So let's do it again. I'm gonna turn to the side so we're all doing it the correct way, okay? In Tai Chi, we have some movements like wave hands like clouds that we do evenly on both sides. Okay, we have things that we do left and right. Single whip is not one of them. It's only done on the one side, but I like to mirror you so I feel like it's a little bit easier, okay? So we start in our prepare. Remember that we're gonna shift our weight to the left and we're gonna open our right toes 45 degrees. Remember, when you sink down, knee is in line. Beautiful alignment, healing our bodies, weight centered in your foot, and you're gonna step that left foot clear out. Touch. Now, why am I doing to the side also? My whole foot touches. Now look at the bend in my knee. This is so important, okay? If your leg is locked, there's no weight in there. We want to be like a cat. We're touching, touching, touching. It's good. We're connected to the ground, and now we can move our weight forward. Okay. Now check in with your hips. We're not leaning. Torso's vertical. Okay. So nice level hips. Remember, when we turn our torso, that knee likes to come in. Keep it open. Okay. Feel the weight in both feet. Connected. All right. Now we're here. Sit up nice and tall, nice and proud. Hook hand, where? 45 degrees. So we're not back here. Close it off. Be relaxed. All fingers touch and high enough with a nice straight arm. Okay. Left palm straight in line with your leg direction. Remember, shoulder height, holding, and look. Look down the tiger's mouth, okay? Stretch out your neck. I know it. I know you feel it, okay? Now try to relax your shoulders a little bit more, okay? I want you to feel light and airy through the arms if you can. Yes, we're extended and reaching. Now breathe. I want you to take the biggest belly breaths you can, all the way in through the nose. Fill every inch of your lungs all the way down, softening the belly, and then exhale and let it all out. Release any tension you might feel in the body. 2 more big breaths like this, okay? Big inhale and exhales. 1 more. Exhale, release the shoulders. Let a smile come over and release the arms. Shake them out. Let them go. Okay? You just did 45 straight minutes of Tai Chi. All right? You did it. All right? Let it shake it out. Let the arms go. Okay? All right. So your goal is 5 minutes a day. All right? I'll post this tomorrow. Okay? There's new stuff getting put up as well, like short 5-10 minute videos that I want you to check out. All right? Do we have any questions before we close class tonight? Are we sure?
I have a question. When you
Yes.
say you are posting it, is it by email
It
or
is on YouTube because there's so many different people that come to class. Here is the link. So I post them on YouTube. So I record myself right now on screen and then I post them on YouTube. There was a little bit of a break in the posting, but the classes are resuming. So I'm posting again. So this will be up tomorrow and then you can practice along again. There's not enough Tai Chi available out there. All right. I want to be one of those people that are giving you something to practice. All right. Yeah, exactly. You got 5 minutes a day, right?
Thank you.
Everyone can do that. All right. That is your goal in life. I really mean it. Okay. Like, because I know for me, I mean, I have a 16-month-old now. Okay. Time is sparse. All right. The short form that we are learning on Thursday night, it takes 7 to 10 minutes, depending on how fast you are moving to complete that form. Okay. Everyone can do that. Sometimes that is my only sanity. All right. So I am right there with you in terms of we only have a small amount of time. So I want you to join me. 5 minutes of wellness exercises, 5 minutes of stance work. Okay. Wave hands like clouds. Pick the movement that feels good for your body and just move for 5 minutes a day. If you've been with me for months, I'm up in the ante and I challenge you to 3 5-minute sessions a day. That's 1 in the morning, 1 around lunchtime, and 1 before bed. Okay. The Yang family says that we should practice 3 times a day. Now, the Yang family would probably do 3 long forms 3 times a day. Yeah. Master Yang Jun said to me one time, he said, when you practice the form 3 times in a row, you get a very special feeling. I went back to him the next time I saw him. I said, did you mean exhausted? Because that's what I felt. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from. Tai Chi is a lot of work, but it brings really good energy. Okay. So I want you to get it. I want you to enjoy it because they say we play Tai Chi for a reason. It should be fun. It should be enjoyed. All right. That's everything in life. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Maybe I see you Thursday night, same time. If not, next week, Monday class is back on. And for those that join me for yoga, I think there's a few here. I'm back on Saturday. All right. So Saturday, 9 a.m. if you join me for that. All right. All right, everyone. Have a great night. Thanks for joining us. All right. Bye.